welcome in everyone to our Mission Critical. I'm Dr. Levi Rozier. I know you guys have been tuning into our podcast, and it has been great. And we've been talking a lot about Mission Critical and how your mission affects every part of your life. And, Tawana and I have been doing this thing, just get information about the mission, but we decided to just do something just a little different this time and bring in someone, my spiritual son and daughter. Let's talk about joy for a minute. Because with all the vicissitudes of life, thing that goes on, and it can really come at your joy at another level, especially when you're going through like Treasure, young and ambitious, and Tim and his middle age. Things can hit us at different levels that really come at our joy. So we're just going to sit back and you guys go ahead and share our page and put likes in. And let's talk a little bit about joy. I promise this is not planned. We're just going to talk and hope you guys can get something out of our conversation. Nothing that we conjured up or wrote down and try to make you like us. We want to talk about joy because let me tell you something. Joy is critical for all of us to have. I mean, sadness comes, grief comes, letdowns come, ebb and flows come. Joy is key to us. So before I do that, I'm going to let them tell them who they are. Tell them who you are, Trey.
I'm Treasure Embry. Like Pastor said, I am in my 20s. I'm 23, and I'm currently at that stage where I'm navigating post-grad, getting into a career, identity, relationship. So I'm really excited just to know what being joy is, all about.
Oh, that's really good. That's good. Mr. Tim, tell us who you are.
Everybody know me. I'm Tim. I'm just getting, I'm more at that stage of my life now where I'm really starting to learn from my mistakes I made in my past and becoming more joyful, becoming more thankful for what I am now as of today because of those mistakes I did make in the past. Because I think that played a big part
That's cool.
of me being the person I am now.
All right, before we get into the definition of joy, just if you had to give a definition of what joy is for you, but I'm gonna give you the Bible part. We're gonna be okay with that. But just from life talking, if someone say, "What is joy to you?" and that could be what one word would come up if I say, "Treasure, what is joy?" What one word would come out of your mouth?
I would say happiness, but that was actually gonna be my question because I know that there's a difference between like happiness and joy.
Okay.
So,
that's good.
that's like the first thing that comes to my mind is like happy, just being happy and excited. Like
That's good. That's good. Tim, what come up with you?
Family.
Oh, I see. Nah, man, that's good. Now he threw me off, y'all. I'm letting you know that's what Tim would do. She gave us happiness, which that's what emotion is. But Tim, he did something different. He went definitive. He called something out like, no, you said joy. So joy, like you see family, you see joy.
Yes.
Tell us more about that. You got me out there.
I got to get you out there because me growing up, I didn't have much of a family. So now that I'm able to I'm at the age now where I have my own family. And I'm still learning how to bring my family together because I didn't have that growing up as a kid. So once I got that, then I'm saying wow, I actually have that life that I actually wanted growing up.
Wow. Listen, you know what Tim talking about now? He just jump on. He don't start or something. Because now what he did kind of aligned with my background. Tim, my dad wasn't there. My mom grew us up by herself. So a lot of my joy and happiness was predicated on having or not having, So as I got older, I was locking my joy into the female I was dating or locking my joy into family, whatever. So if that person in my life were to disappoint me or leave me, my joy left too. All right, and then I had to regather my joy again. So when you said that, that's what triggered me. You're talking about joy and how happiness. And so even though there could be some real joy and there could be some fake joy. All right. And so the definition of joy in the Bible, just for come to preach, y'all forgive me. It's a deep-seated joy, where something that really it assures something that whether life ups or down, you're complete in God. It's assurance. That's what joy is, that the joy that God is talking about. How do that play in, though, Treasure, to that joy and that happiness you got now? Because life, that happiness can go up and down. But how do that play in now with the joy you learning more about this joy of the Lord and that happiness?
I would say for me, like coming out of post grad, that was very hard for me because I'm like, okay, I look good on paper, but internally I'm like, I'm not really happy. I'm not where I want to be. So that's where I've always had a relationship with God. My grandpa, he's a pastor, and I've just grown up in that space. So that was nothing new to me. But I think just finding him for myself and like truly seeking him out, that's where I was able to find joy. Just really studying his word and really like coming to church and really being able to grasp and comprehend on a different level.
Oh, that's good. Let me ask you a question. Doing that, you talk postgrad. Let's talk about college. Cause we've all been there. We've all been 23. All right. So because I know, and how are you able to fight that? You know, thank God you had that mom and that dad and that family heritage background. What kind of what. But how could college life steal that? I mean, really come at that and force you to kind of like, because sometimes I lost my way in the military. Okay, I went in the military. I lost my way. How do you battle? How are you able to balance that?
Like you said, praying, mom. Like my mom, she didn't play. She praying for me from in the womb to out, and I think that she really helped me learn how to pray and learn like what I need to ask for God. It doesn't have to sound perfect, but it's truly like that conversation. So I'll just sit in the bed like, God, thank you for waking me up this morning. Just pray that I get through this day. I went to school in Atlanta, so there's that aspect, and just truly like prayer that really helped me. And
So what would you tell a young person out there who's in that dorm right now, who could be, using drugs and TV, social media to try to fill a void that only God can fill? That's a struggle, I know, at times for us.
That's a good question. Honestly, I think it's just something, like I said, that you have to seek for yourself. There has to be a point in your life where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. You can go out. That's not going to, still feel empty. You can smoke or drink or, be with different people or be different around different people, but you still have like a sense of emptiness. But when you're alone in your thoughts, what do you feel? And that's where I kind of, like I said, just sit down. I'm not perfect. But I truly try to sit down and like talk to God, and it's just casual. Like at least for me, I don't try to be like really pristine when I'm talking to God. Like I just sit back. I'll just be in the car driving like, God, like
me again.
Like, hey, it's me again. Like, hey, and that, I think it's just something that you truly have to want. You have to kind of be tired of just the same routine and want better.
That's good.
Yeah.
So Tim, what was that aha moment that triggered you? I know that history kind of got you there, but what was that aha moment? Even now in your middle age, I know you young man still, you got kids and grandkids, but what was that aha moment that, like, this happiness I think joy is not it? And what was that moment that, like, this is fake. I need to work on this other joy.
I can take you all the way back to my military when I graduated boot camp.
Wow.
I felt like I accomplished something. I was the first person in my family to join the military besides my uncle on my mom's side. But he got married into the family, so he wasn't technically in my family. But I guess grabbing the eagle anchor just brought me the most joy I had in a long time as a kid, because I felt like I accomplished something on my own.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Now, knowing that you accomplished something on your own, how will that joy now regulate? Because there are times that all of us, we did this sermon series called Joy iOS. It's this joy is your operating system. That's like an iPhone. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But it protects your Face ID and all that good stuff inside of us that resonate with God. And having that joy on the inside, I've found even in life itself, if the Bible said God gave us joy and that our joy may be complete and full, right? I mean, there's nothing to be added to it. It's enough in there. The thing about happiness, you got to keep adding. You got to keep adding. You got to, nobody can't. Nobody can't. I said Sunday morning, you can't sex me enough. You can't drink me enough, because all that stuff it all have a time limit. The thing about God, joy, there's no time limit. It just goes on forever. But we live in this world. We live in this world where we're emotional beings. In life, tell me some things that try to snatch your joy. Let's talk about some things that try to snatch your joy. Even at your age now, things that try to snatch the joy that you have. Social media.
Bills.
Yeah,
Bills.
You know, wow, social media. Okay, that's a big boy. Social media is not going nowhere. We know that. What about grief? Yeah, grief.
A lot.
Letdowns. Letdown. Or this is one. I think this is one we do ourselves to people. We put too much expectations on people. And then we try to put all our joy and happiness in them. And what happened is they let us down. It's not that they let us down. We put too much in them to let us down. You know. Now, I know y'all got a question for me, so I'm not going to talk all the time. I'm going to preach about it, but people out there, really, I'm tell you something. This joy we're talking about, guys, is serious stuff. That's why it's like that's why your phone got to be protected, because it's something serious on the inside. This joy we have right now is so serious that we having fun, but it must be talked about. It must be a cost to say, listen, yeah, I got it, but I promise you sometimes it's challenging out there to live a life. So what's y'all question for me? I know you got one, boy. I got one. I know he would have one.
Oh, when was the last time you felt joy and what caused it?
That's my felt joy. What caused just 2 minutes ago? I saw my wife. What caused it is because number one, because I love her. Number two, on a serious note, just the last few days she been dealing with her diabetes stuff up and down life. It's just after her with some stuff she's dealing with, right? And to see her get up this morning and for God to, and some of the prayers I'm praying right now is seeing it manifest. It brings me joy. It brings me joy that God is hearing my prayers too. All right. So when I saw her, I had prayed for some things and get up this morning and see her. So just to ask that question, I mean, it just happened. It literally just happened. So that's what's on my mind. So you get the fresh off the press of what I'm glad to see. That happened this morning because my wife type 1 diabetes. So she will, unless God break a miracle, she will always have diabetes. So her life and death of my wife is every day. There's no joke. She don't take instant, she die. So we deal with all that stuff at home. And so just every day sometimes, those if I don't recognize the nuggets God's doing, I miss the big picture. You know what I'm saying? So that's the recent joy that I got. Since you just asked me that question, that's what I just got. All right.
No, that was good. I was going to ask, I guess, navigating like my 20s. Mm-hmm. I got to shout out the plugs. You always tell us about, give us these conversations. But when you're in that transition, how do you find joy, like through identity, relationships, career, all the things?
You said something earlier about, knowing it. I know at this table right here, there are 3 stories, all right? I didn't have a dad. You got your mom and dad. You come from a good place. You had raised by someone else. Just at this table are 3 different stories. I mean, there's an amalgam of stories out there too that make all of us find joy at that different place in life. And this being transparent with you is that I wish I had found the joy I'm talking about today early. I didn't. I did not find this joy I'm talking about today till I got in mind. Maybe 27, 28, that era. And I'm like, wow, this is what joy looked like up to the end church. It was ebb and flow. It was up and down. I'm talking about I'm saved and still don't understand this joy. And then I'm thinking going to church is going to give me joy. Going to church, it's okay. But I'm going to church really all my self-conscious because I was about drunk the night before. I was doing crazy stuff the night before, trying to get happiness there. And so I thought the church was my joy. And all the church was doing was easing my conscience. Instead of just knowing I had joy Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? So going to church was just an overflow for me. And so it was until I really got into the Word of God, like you said earlier, and start praying and realize, you know what? I've had a bad image on God and how this joy looked because not having a dad and having to do stuff on my own. And then when you get those stuff, like you said, ambition, and realize that you get one itch off the back, and then you got to scratch another itch on the back because you think that solved the problem. And you realize, I want more money. You know what I'm saying? I want more of this. So it's until you really settle down and say, God, I love you who you are. And that's a fight, the treasure, that's a fight every day. Even people 80 years old right now wondering why they ain't had more so-and-so. Because everybody looking at what everybody else got and not really saying, God, thank you for what I got and thank you for using me where I am. So that's a fight for all of us, treasure. That's a big question you asked me. That's a huge fight.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think I'm definitely in that place where, like, success, that's kind of where I'm measuring, like, joy. And I'm trying to get out of that.
Oh, that's good.
Like, I love how you said see you, Lady Felicia. That brought you joy. I want to be in that space where, I mean, I'm thankful. Like,
Yeah,
I woke up, but
right,
you know, I'm
right.
like, okay, I need to be here. That's gonna make me happy. I need to be here, so I'm definitely fighting that right now.
And that's natural. What you doing? What she's fighting, what a lot of y'all fighting, a lot of us in the room fighting. It's just It's it's That's some natural thing that come out of us. This is not sinful. It's just natural. Okay, let's dial down a little bit. Someone working a job or on the street, and they married, struggling, whatever, and they see someone else married. It's natural to envy it. It's just natural to thought looking internal what we doing wrong. I remember now I'm a parent. I remember when I was in church. When I was a little boy. I was bad now in church. All right, so I'm not gonna say the same guy. But when I was in church, I came out of a traditional church. I think I called it before. I won't call it name no more. But let's get about fans at church, right? Fans. We had no air, so I get fans, all right. But on the fan, it was oh my God, y'all, it was the most beautiful family. Dad, mom, the child, she on white glove. I mean, it was a gorgeous man. I mean, it was I hated that fan. Because that was not us. I'm headed to church. You give me a fan that don't look like the family that's coming. I'm talking about, as a child, I'm thinking like this. Like, why you don't like that, Mom? Where Dad at? You know what I'm saying? And listen, here's the scary part about that. Dad never did return. So if I'm trying to find happiness in a dad who never returned, can you imagine the suicide thoughts? Can you imagine the insecurities? Can you imagine trying to find identity in someone else? Because you're trying to find happiness in something, in someone. My dad died when I was 19. So he divorced my mom and then died. Never did return. So if I lock down my happiness on something that's shadow and temporary, now I can preach a sermon now, y'all. I got started. But see how happiness runs out? You can't really lock in something that's really is temporal. You're hoping it does. I find joy now in knowing who I am. And then now, with or without my dad, I got joy in Jesus Christ. My identity now not tied to my dad. Even though my daughter was laughing like that. She said, Dad, what's your daddy's name? I said, Levi. You're a junior. I said, nope, I'm not a junior. She said, yes, you are. I said, I'm not a junior. My dad's middle name is Peter. Mine is LaShawn. She said, huh? I said, you got to have the whole name, they say. They got to have the whole name. So I'm not a junior. And they're like, And I said, so my identity, even though I got his first name, is not tied to him. My identity not tied to God's. Good question, Fred. Next question, Tim. Y'all pray now, brace yourself. All right.
You gonna stop putting me on the spot
Oh,
like
you've been
that.
doing good. You've been doing good.
I've been behaving myself. I've been setting out the way. I guess, what are you grateful now that would bring you the most joy right now at this moment?
What I'm grateful now is that I'm settled now. I'm settled in me. When I was younger, y'all all know I talk fast. So I don't act like I don't. I do. I talk fast, and I have to tell my brain to slow down sometimes. But the thing is, because I see it as a disability, I would never want to get in front and talk to people. I didn't want to get in front of no one to talk to no one about, not on microphone, but that's even in school, those insecurity things that people you're measuring up against. Then you start getting older and realize, you know what? Your disability is God availability. What everybody calls special ed is special to God. See what's going on with that? And when you find out that, you know what, this is who I am because he made me who I am, you just got to get over it. Once you realize that, now I'm not saying that I still got to read a book. I still got to read about people. I'm not saying don't just get loose. Because God made you. No, you got to work on yourself. But once you come to that reality that, you know what, God, you made me this color. You gave me this dialect. You let me be born in a home that would end up being dysfunctional. I didn't plan that. You saw that happening. And so now I get to a place now, I am settled in who I am and what God has called me to be and what I'm supposed to be doing now. That's why I pray everybody from like Treasure in your age and you guys here, and we're able to sit here with Treasure and watch her move her push her forward in her career and hurry up and find out who they are early. The sooner you find out who you are in God, the better off you're gonna be. I'm talking about the better off we'll be. That's how I see it now. Tough question. I told you about that boy got tough question now. All right. Now.
That was good. I feel like you kind of answered my question I was gonna ask.
So you got more questions for me?
Well, I was gonna ask because I know you talked about like just being younger and all that. So my question, but you kind of answered it, was how do you stop comparison from stealing your joy?
Woo. When you find that question out, the answer. No, and that gonna go back all towards is being satisfied with God has got you to do and be. You look across. That's why social media is such a bad thing at times. It means it's a good thing, but a lot of us now are measuring our life based on what someone has got, what they have, and if we're not careful, most of us post our stuff on social media. It's all good. We don't post our failures, our disappointments. We almost post the end of the road. Somebody like all of us got my doctorate degree. We posted the doctorate degree. Had to cap guy, but nobody posted me. Nobody writing that paycheck. Nobody posted. We don't post the process, and we don't. When you leave out the process, if we talk less about the process, we kind of take away from the degree, because the process really is just as important as the end goal, And so I take joy not just in the end, I take joy in the process that what got me here. All right, even though you are distinguished dad and father and beautiful lady and going through school, but don't sleep on the process. Don't sleep on there's also joy in the process. Even in the crime, there's joy. The Bible says Christ endured the cross because the joy is set before him. Because the joy is before him, but the joy is also in the process. And every now and then, you got to stop and say, no, why am I doing this? Every now and then, take yourself out on a date. Just drink some Kool-Aid and set up yourself. For what God, and so all what we're doing, because we got joy, also celebrate the joy you got on the inside. I got that. I think I need to stop. Listen, God, listen.
Look, save it for Sunday. Look.
This has been a great conversation. We'll get more of that, guys. Or just having a conversation off the cuff, nothing that we put together. This is a side that, you know what, people need to hear real conversation, especially from 2 or 3 different generations in conversation. So I hope you are able to get something from this mission critical statement. Listen, your joy is on the inside. It's a deep-seated joy. Happiness come and go, but joy remains forever, guys. I'm Dr. Levi Rozier. Thank you for joining us on Mission Critical, and I'll see you next time.